These are the materials we will use. So I have here worsted yarn, but you can also use bulky. And then I checked what the hook size is for this wool. So I also got the matching hook to the yarn. Then I have a little bit of scrap yarn for the eyes, the darning needle to sew the eyes and the ends in with, and stitch markers. So the left one is for more advanced. This one is for beginners because you can open and close it and it for sure won't fall out. And then I also have some filling for the head. Now doing the magic circle and adding 6 single crochets into the circle. If you need detailed information on how to make the magic circle, I have more detailed videos in my shorts. I'll link them in the description. Continuing to row 2, now place your stitch marker. If you're a beginner, use the safety pin. If you're more advanced and know what you're doing, then use the spiral. So now we're increasing into each stitch, meaning putting 2 single crochets into each stitch. Now continuing to row 3, we will do a single crochet and an increase stitch, ending up with 18 stitches. Coming to the end of row 3, we will continue to row 4. Row 4 and 5 are 2 rows of single crochets. So our stitch count will stay at 18 and we will do 2 rounds of single crochets into all stitches. Coming to the end of round 5, we now start with row 6 and do a single crochet and then an invisible decrease. If you need more detailed videos on this, check in the description. I will link the more detailed video to the invisible decrease. After this row, we will have 12 stitches. Ending row 6, we will now continue by filling the head. I filled the head as much as I can now, but we will still continue filling the head later on. Now we will do row 7, which is a single crochet into each stitch. Our stitch count will stay 12 stitches. Coming to the end of row 7, we now continue to row 8, which is an invisible decrease, decreasing 2 stitches at a time. So we will have a stitch count of 6 stitches after this. So now we're actually finished with the head. So we want to continue filling the head to the squishiness we want, and also cut off the tail. Leave it a little bit longer for sewing. I recommend at least 20 centimeters or 8 inches. Want to see more kinds of tutorials? Then don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you want to tell me you like it. For the tentacles, we will start with the magic circle. This time, instead of just 6 crochets, we'll put 8 crochets into the circle, which after closing the circle, make sure you close it with the slip stitch. We are not making a spiral. So after we have done the slip stitch, we will now chain 13 stitches to do the first tentacle. Now let's look at the chain and make sure we find the back. The front have these V's, and I like to put the half double crochets into the back of the chain. So we wrap around the yarn and go into the bump. We skip the first one. Make sure you put 2 half double crochets into one bump. I also have a detailed video that I will link in the description if you need to see it a bit slower. We will do this down the chain and have 24 half double crochets. I will meet you at the end. This is at the end where we come back to the circle. Make sure you find that last little bump to put 2 half double crochets in. Now that we've finished this tentacle, it's just needed to be joined to the circle. So we will find the next stitch and do a slip stitch to join it. Now for all other tentacles, we just start here again with our chain 13 and doing the half double crochets down again. We will repeat this until we have 8 tentacles. I will meet you back when we have 8 tentacles. At the end, we can then cut off the strand and pull it through. Now we have all our 8 tentacles and have to sew the head on the tentacles. I like to put the tentacles facing upward with the right side. So I lay it nice and flat to be able to see well. So in the third and last stitch of the head, I will just double up the stitches to the tentacles. So after that, we just sew in the ends and cut our yarn. And now it's time to sew the eyes. When we sew the eyes, I like to place them kind of in the middle. Check what placement you like the most. To make a heart shape, I poke in the bottom and then I use the top two holes on the top to make the heart shape. So those are the two I will take. I will go into there, poke the needle back out the other side, and pull the yarn slightly. And then I'll just go for a second round because I think the thread is a little bit thin and it will look nicer if it's a bit bigger to emphasize the heart shape. I'll keep filming this a bit longer so you can see the exact process. Doing the first eye, we want to find the position of the second eye. I leave like 2 to 3 stitches in between, depending how you want your eyes to be. Again, here I do the triangle to create the heart shape. When you're done, go through the back where you came in and knot the threads. Then you can pull them back into the head without the thread being visible. Make sure to cut it, and there you have your Love Octopus. I'll blend in some videos that YouTube suggests for you, and if you liked it, please don't hesitate to subscribe.